This is Catherine Londoff from Gyrotonic Seacoast. I wanted to send you this brief video of a warm-up that you can do before the Metamorphosis breathing sequence on Sunday morning, or if someday you're going to do it in Australia, maybe it'll be in an evening. But anyway, optimizing the movement of your ribs and of your diaphragm will make the class much more enjoyable for you, and you'll really notice a difference in the freedom of your breathing. So we're trying to concentrate on this lateral type of motion in the ribs, as some of you might be familiar with from Pilates or gyrotonic. And it's also helpful to think about how most of your lungs are in your back or closer to your back. So we want to really expand and open our ribs on the sides and into our backs. So we're going to do a little myofascial release, and all you need is a rolled up yoga mat. You can also use a half foam roller, but I'm assuming most people will definitely have at least a yoga mat, or you can take a rolled up towel if you don't have that, or a blanket. Nothing too hard, and definitely not a full foam roller, because that would be way too big for what we're going to be doing. So the first thing that we're going to do is just lie down on our backs with the roll underneath our necks. And we're simply going to do a head nod. So you're going to exhale, bring your chin down and back, and accompany that with an exhalation, softening your sternum. And you might, situate yourself in a different place to feel a little bit of pressure into the base of your skull. Okay, so we can repeat that a number of times, and then we're going to go into a little side-to-side motion. So you're getting into the occipitals, the attachments here at the base of your skull, swaying back and forth. If you have something like a half foam roller, it's a little harder, but we're just working gently here. We're just working gently. Okay, and so the next section, and of course you can stay there for as long as you like, we're now going to take the roll and we're going to put this right underneath our waists. Okay, so in between your lowest rib and your hips, and this arm's going to outstretch, your legs are going to outstretch as well. All right, so your other hand is in front of your chest for more support, and we're simply going to reach through our crowns, feel a little bit of lat connection on this side, and exhale as we create a side bend, and you'll notice how those ribs on the floor are being pressed, or not your ribs, but your side is being pressed into the roll. So exhale, you can look forward a little bit, feel the shoulder blade draw down, feel your tissues pressing into the roll. Okay, and so now what we're going to do, and again, you can repeat that. That feels really good. That's awesome. Now we're going to start with a lifting of our legs, so some abduction of this leg. Take a breath in and reach through your heel, and then lower it back down. And again, as you lift this leg, you may feel how there's slightly more pressure of your body into the roll. Try to differentiate your leg from your pelvis. In other words, don't hike your hip here towards your lowest rib, but keep the length between your lowest rib and your hip. You're going to feel that action or that contraction in your gluteus medius here in the back side of your butt. You can also think of your heel coming up slightly higher than your toes, and that you're creasing here right where you have that dent, like where your underwear line would be, but you're keeping your waist really long. And then coming up, one of my favorites is you're going to put one foot in front of the other leg like so, and then you're going to roll forward and back. So you're letting this roll go along your ribs, along the bottom ridge of your ribs here, where we have several muscular attachments. The diaphragm is attached underneath the ribs. We're getting a little bit into that. And as you roll back, getting a little bit into the QL. So again, you can repeat that for as long as you like. Put your foot behind you, and now you can roll back a little bit more and forward. So now we're definitely getting into the QL territory here, that the muscle that attaches your lowest rib to your pelvis. And we have lots of extensors also that you're touching upon here. So rolling back and forth, again, as long as you would like. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and turn around and do the same thing on the other side. So placing this underneath my ribs, between my pelvis and my lowest rib. So we did a little bit of the side bending here. So you're going to take a breath in, exhale, shoulder blade comes down, lateral motion of your head, and then return. Again, feeling your ribs dropping into the roll. Shoulder down. And again, if you're using something a little firmer like a half foam roller, this might feel a little intense. But don't worry about it. You don't have to kill yourself to get benefit out of this gentle myofascial release. Okay, so again, you can repeat that for as long as you like. And then going into the leg lift here. So we're going to take a breath in. When you exhale, reach to your fifth line, bringing your leg up and then down. Exhale, feel your ribs dropping into the roll. Differentiating your leg from your pelvis. So you see I'm not hiking my hip towards my rib. Practice neutral shoulders there, just shoulder down, and you'll feel the gluteus medius back here working. Again, this just gives some pressure of the ribs into the roll. And then we're going to put your foot in front and we're going to roll forward and back. Okay. If you're a bigger person, you might want to beef up your roll. Maybe you need it to be a little bit bigger for you to really feel any kind of pressure. So again, you can repeat that for as long as you like. Put your foot behind and roll back. We're getting into, again, the lower back, the QL there. Okay. So moving on, we're going to go into lying on this roll. So the roll will go right underneath your lowest ribs here into this soft part of your abdomen. Okay? So hopefully you didn't have a big snack or a big breakfast. We're putting this underneath. Oh boy. Okay, now this is wonderful for back breathing. If you have seen any of the videos out there from the physician in England that's talking about these breathing techniques that help you recover from respiratory infections like pneumonia or the coronavirus, he talks about lying on the stomach after doing this technique because, again, most of your lungs are in the back, okay? So we want to expand the ribs there. So as you lie here, okay, if it's really uncomfortable, you can prop yourself up a little bit, like I'm doing, okay? Eventually you might feel like you can put your head down all the way, okay? So now, and I know that doesn't feel the greatest, but we're trying to get a little bit of release in the diaphragm and the psoas, okay? So take a breath in, and when you breathe in, think of breathing into your back. Let your back open, and then exhale. Breathe into your back. Okay. Okay, again, you could do that for as long as you like. Now, starting with your right leg, we're going to slide the leg back and lift it. So take a breath in. Exhale. Lengthen and reach that leg and release. Change to the other side. Think of melting over the roll. And then try both legs at the same time. Remember, it's not about the height, it's just the reach. And then push yourself back into a child's pose. Just let your belly hang. And observe your breathing. Can you feel the back expansion a little bit more readily? All right. And of course, you can lie down on your back in between all of these exercises to give yourself a comparison of sensation. So after doing this, you may observe a little bit more movement laterally of your ribs, and also the ability for your abdominals to release and fill with your breath. So these are just my suggestions before Sunday. If you can wake up a little early and do some of these movements. We'll do a brief warm up on the stool, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a message, and I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday morning. Take care. Bye.